As you said, you're doing research before you import any product. Don't fall in love with the work, but be in love with the benefits. If a certain business has lost market, look for another product that is in demand. As a government, we do encourage trading activities and we do like traders.
The government has not stopped services or public education on family planning, but has suspended broadcast of radio and television spots in order to review the content and to make sure to send rightful message to the public. The clarification comes after a statement from the Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender, the Elderly and Children was released on its move to cancel media spots on family planning.
Lazima tukiri kwamba tumekuwa na changamoto kidogo, tumekuwa nafanya kazi pamoja na wadau.
We must agree that we have been having some challenges. We have been working with some stakeholders. Others, we allow them to prepare their own advertising commercials without completely checking them out as the ministry. Now we want to do some improvements so that we make sure the information which we want to portray as the government is the one reaching the society. Secondly, let me keep emphasizing that the government has never kept a limitation on the number of children that one can have. Our 2007 health policy is very clear that a person should have a number of children that they can handle giving birth to and caring for them, and that there's enough time in between one child and the other.
Nafasi kati ya mtoto mmoja na kwenda mtoto mwingine.
The Deputy Minister for Minerals, Dr. Biteko, has stopped the removal of more than 1,000 small-scale gold miners from the mining area in Nsege village, Nyarukoba ward in Tarime district, Mara region. This comes after Deputy Minister Biteko demanded that a person who claims to have an ownership license for the mining area to honor an agreement aimed at finding a solution to a dispute with the small-scale gold miners. Speaking at a meeting with miners, the owner of the mining area and members of the Defense and Security Committee in Tarime District, the Deputy Minister Dr. Biteko directed the owner of the license, Mwita Chacha, to ensure that by next Monday this year, the conflict with the small-scale miners is resolved.
In this place, we have ended it today. Mzenoti is here. Do you see him? All those with mine holes are going to set contracts so that work starts. I told him when it reaches Monday, I want people to start working and no explanations. So I'm asking you to continue remaining calm. The government cares, and that is why we have come to serve you. But to just assure you, Dr. Biteko, the one whom you've been hearing about, he is Mr. Black and White. He doesn't mess around. He will just do the cut-offs. So I'm assuring you, all what will be spoken here will be done. And that's why I'm with him. My job is to follow on him and remind him, sir, this is what you have promised. But also, you small miners, don't misuse the chance of being cared for to break the law. I'm using this opportunity to tell you small miners that you are bringing shame whenever you don't pay government taxes. You are bringing shame when you don't contribute. Now one day, all these miners will be gone. And now how will we run the government? Because I did not give permission, I came and found them and they were already down. But also from February to June, they had been mining, while we were waiting on a decision. They asked me to continue, but we will be paying in phases. I told them they were invaders. Accept that you are invaders.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has said that he does not want to see the Medical Stores Department MSD delay distribution of drugs in medical facilities to hospitals and health centers. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa gave the warning when addressing residents of Mauno ward in Kondoa District, Dodoma region, where he had gone to inspect construction of the health center.
MSD, I'm warning you not to repeat the mistake of receiving funds and not distribute medicines and medical facilities. Your offices are here in Dodoma. But why do you delay and bring in the facilities here? Here you have a health center. The district hospital is in Kondoa town, about 62 kilometers from here. Allocate funds for construction of wards so that patients can be admitted here. There is no need for residents to go to Kondoa. When the construction is completed, let us know and we will give you 250 million shillings to buy facilities for inside the center.
Scholars from various countries around the world have said that in order for Africa to develop, Africans and developed nations need to change their negative thinking of economic dependency and focus on development activities. They gave their advice in Dar es Salaam during an international Africa-Asia conference being attended by scholars and development stakeholders.
So in as much as the Chinese are doing good things to Africa or to Tanzania, to Zambia, I think it's a time now that Africa needs to project its influence to the world. Because in Africa, we've always gotten ideas from the outside world. We've never told the outside world who we are as a people. So I think the Chinese coming in, or Asian investment coming into Africa, gives us that opportunity whereby we can stand that we've been exposed to Western influence before. Now we have Asian influence. So which one is the best of the two? And through the realization of that, then we can stand up ourselves and give the world who we are as a people. So for me, for Africa to develop or benefit from all these investment coming in, we have first to define ourselves, give ourselves the identity so that the newcomer who comes to Africa is able to understand Africa from our own terms, not from borrowed concepts.
The U.S. government has called upon Tanzanians to encourage their children to take up science, maths and English subjects so that the country can get experts who will help the government to realize its goal of developing an industrialized economy. Speaking at Korogwe Teachers Training College during a ceremony to swear in 59 U.S. Peace Corps who will be deployed at 35 districts in the country to teach science, English and math subjects. The Deputy U.S. Charge d'Affaires, Dr. Inmi Pedersen, said that the U.S. Peace Corps will contribute to the development of the country.
But you will experience something very few Americans will experience. You know, so close, being part at the heart of communities where you serve. This is one of the reasons, as I said, I travel a lot, but I always meet with these volunteers. So when you go, wait for me, I'll be there. And I find the unsurfaced cultural awareness and local integration make conversation with you always inspiring and always really, really educational for me. So now I need to really address to the host families and the community, because without whom this program is not possible.
Number one, we are so very proud of you. And by we, I mean your host families, the people that are involved in training, the Peace Corps staff, and all of your friends and family who are all over the world, wherever they may be. We're all thinking of you. We're sending you our thoughts and prayers as you begin this, the toughest job you'll ever love. Secondly, you are exactly what our country needs to see of the people of the United States at this time. People who are committed to promoting world peace and friendship. I'm going to close.
Now, Tanzanians have been urged to showcase and promote their cultures so that they are not forgotten in the current digital era. This was said by the Minister of Information, Culture and Sports, Dr. Harrison Mwakembe, on behalf of the Prime Minister, Kassim Majaliwa, when launching the 3rd annual Tulia Traditional Dance Festival in Tukuyu Town, Rungwe District, Mbeya region. The founder of the festival, Deputy Speaker Dr. Tulia Ackson, has urged the Tanzanians to respect, value and celebrate the different cultures, norms and traditions in the country. Also present at the event were the German ambassador to Tanzania, the deputy head of commission from the Japanese embassy and various local leaders.
And I've followed political and economic events here very closely. This is what ambassadors do. This is developing, it is finding its way towards a great future. country is on its way to a bright future. It is very important that you must not forget about your great traditions.
I'm very excited to watch the game, and they played very well, and they're really, I'm very impressed. Today, this is the traditional dance festival, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah, so I hope every dancer, every singers play well, and they achieve a great success.
Residents of Mgama village in Iringa district have complained on embezzlement of 600 million shillings allocated for construction of a dam which will be used for the Makete irrigation scheme. The agriculture officer for Iringa district, Lucy Nyalu, has confirmed that the funds were used in the construction of the dam, which has not yet been completed, and that they have requested for 1.5 billion shillings from the Commission for Irrigation so that they can finish the project. Addressing the residents of Mgama village, Iringa Region Commissioner Ali Happy directed the Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau (PCCB) to investigate the allegations of embezzlement on funds for the construction of the dam.
Is that Makete Dam has errors. It was built under standards. As we are talking, it has already been washed away with water. Even you, sir, if you were to reach there, then you will witness that the dam has been washed away with water, and that it wasn't built on standards. Its shortage seems like it was built on started leaking water, and finally its completion wouldn't have been a problem, but it was actually washed away with water, sir. We received the money in 2 phases, which is 600 million. We started building the wall and the money was finished. We wrote another statement to ask for money, but DATIV's project ended in 2013. We took the statement of 1.5 billion for the purpose of completion and installing speedways and water channels for watering. So the watering committee has promised once we receive the money, then the dam will be completed. Takukuru, follow up on the construction of Makete Dam. All the engineers who build, all the officials who participated, being in Iringa or out of Iringa, look for them wherever they will be, so that they can come assist us in understanding what they have done.
East African countries have signed an agreement that will change the constitution of the East African Association of Anti-Corruption Authorities so as to expand the platform for cooperation with other nations both inside and outside Africa in battle against corruption. The Deputy Commissioner of the Ethiopian Body Against Corruption, who is also the Vice President of the East African Association of Anti-Corruption Authorities, Widow Ato, said that despite recording major successes in the war against corruption, there still remains many challenges which differ from one country to another. And that's the end of national news. International news follows next after the break.
The relaunched Financial Times is the premier business newspaper in Tanzania. The Financial Times is a weekly source of information and business insight for the most successful leaders, executives, investors, and entrepreneurs in Tanzania and throughout the East Africa region. We provide critical business insight and in-depth features on companies, people, strategies, ideas, and economic trends. The Financial Times offers an unrivaled platform for advertisers to enhance brand awareness and move products. We will enable you to reach confident and informed consumers and decision makers who are ready to buy, which includes company CEOs, CFOs, managers, entrepreneurs, policymakers in government, politics and civil society, diplomats, members of the academia, and other key influencers. See examples of advertisement opportunities featured in Financial Times sections below. Telecom sections, real estate section, company news, banking, finance and insurance industry, information technology, national, regional and global markets overview, motoring, lifestyle. Get your copy of Financial Times for 2,000 Tanzania shillings only.
Welcome back, and in international news. Uganda opposition politician Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobi Wine, has been arrested by police after arriving back in the country from the United States, where he had gone for medical treatment for alleged torture. Bobi Wine was surrounded by security officers upon arrival at the international airport in Kampala on Thursday. Bobi Wine was charged with treason alongside 32 other politicians following campaign violence during a by-election in Uganda. They have been accused of throwing stones at President Yoweri Museveni's convoy charges they deny. Now, 4 days after the governor of Nairobi County, Mike Sonko, discovered 11 bodies of infants in plastic bags at Pumwani Hospital, the Union of Nurses in Kenya has come out in support of the government's decision to revoke the board of the hospital. The Union of Nurses also claimed that negligence at the hospital caused many women to miscarriage and others died during delivery of babies. Reports say Pumwani Maternity Hospital is set to receive more medical personnel, a cold room and 24-hour transport system to ensure better quality delivery services. This comes after a recommendation made by a joint inquiry formed by the Ministry of Health on recent developments at the hospital.
Tunaunga mkono sana kwamba kuna matatizo hapa katika hospitali hii na tungependa matatizo hayo yasuluhishwe.
And that's the end of international news. Business news follows next.
In this program, we're looking at developments in the agricultural sector, particularly in the area of supplying fertilizer to farmers in the country.
There's a lot to be done so that these smallholder farmers can have a commercial production, instead of just being a smallholder and they don't get any profit out of it.
Many Tanzanians face the challenge of capital. How did you address this to make sure that, okay, I'm going to go into this business, I need to go around the country and be able to supply fertilizer on time to these farmers?
We've been supported with our partner, because we partner with a company called Yara. It's a multinational company. It's like #1 company dealing with manufacture of the fertilizer. So they've been also supporting us on that.
Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And in business news tonight, Kagera Region Commissioner Brigadier General Marco Elisha Gaguti has banned executives of Misenyi District Council from imposing market levy on traders who transport their crops to Uganda, as they have already paid taxes from where they purchased them.
The misunderstanding comes when traders fail to identify themselves according to the country of origin. I have started to follow up on the number of traders who have permits to do business in Tanzania, but they do not come to purchase crops, but rather they wait for people who have cargo and demand to transport them to the neighboring country. These traders support them by transporting crops illegally. There is a small group of people coming from the so-called clearing and forwarding companies. They ruin the image of Mtukula. I call on new traders to cooperate with the government to bring development in Mtukula.
Smallholder farmers from Northern and Lake Zone regions have called on the government to increase efforts in controlling illegal imports of fake agriculture inputs such as fertilizer and seeds, as the situation has affected their productivity, causing them to incur heavy losses.
I would like to call for support in agricultural inputs so that we can grow in agriculture. If a farmer will use fake fertilizer or seeds, they will get a loss. In the meantime, there are organizations within the government that are responsible for controlling importation of fake agricultural inputs.
And that's the end of sport. That's the end of business news and sports news. Follow us up next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Sean Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip hop, I give it, the hip hip hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports news, the executive chairman of IPP, Dr. Reginald Mengi, has agreed to be the under-17 national team. Okay, I will repeat the story. The executive chairman of IPP, Dr. Reginald Mengi, has agreed to be the under-17 national team Serengeti Boys patron following a request by Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa.
Wahakikishie wananchi kwamba timu ya Serengeti ni timu ya washindi.
I would like to tell the people that Serengeti Boys is a winners team. Later, we will ask the President, on behalf of Tanzanians, to receive the World Cup trophy of 2020 and 2026, because the win is ours. I will be very sad if the dream is not achieved. We, Tanzanians, should be praised for participating in the World Cup and returning with the trophy.
SportPesa betting company has launched the Shinda Zaidi na SportPesa campaign, which aims at improving the living standards of Tanzanians, with winners being awarded bajads and cash prizes.
From now on, all of those who have registered to play with SportPesa and all of those who will register later to bet with SportPesa, every day when they bet, their winning numbers will get in the draw. My call now is for Tanzanians to participate.
Pierre-Francois Aubameyang and Daniel Kazan are both expected to fill the role made vacant following the departure of Spanish coach Jose Antonio Camacho at the end of his contract with Gabon's national team. Here's more on the story.
They are both expected to fill the role made vacant following the departure of Spanish coach Jose Antonio Camacho at the end of his contract. Aubameyang, father of Arsenal's Pierre-Emerick, and Cousin will have equal roles in the new setup, with the target of reaching the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations finals. Given the urgency and the current situation, it was decided to constitute around the Panthers of Gabon group of coaches with a very good knowledge of Gabonese football and its environment, Fegafoot announced. The first competitive games for the duo are in mid-October, with back-to-back 2019 qualifiers against South Sudan. Pierre is in action today as Arsenal play Vorskia Poltava in the Europa League, with Chelsea, Celtic, Villarreal and Sevilla also playing today.
And owner of NBA side Dallas Mavericks will give $10 million to women's and anti-domestic violence groups after an inquiry into sexual harassment allegations within the organization. Here's one story.
Billionaire Mark Cuban agreed to the donation after evidence of disturbing and heartbreaking workplace misconduct by current and former members of the Mavericks franchise was found. The NBA said there was no direct wrongdoing on Cuban's part, but he did not pay enough attention to the workplace culture. The investigation followed the Sports Illustrated report in February that detailed an environment rife with misogyny and predatory sexual behavior.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.
Habari saa 2 na saa 5 usiku. Habari hizo zote unazipata mubashara kupitia Facebook
@ITV Tanzania
na YouTube
ITV Tanzania.
Zote ni